And welcome back to the Michael Cohen Show on our continued journey to 500,000 subscribers. So do me a favor, hit subscribe, watch, comment, and share, because every single day, the chaos, the lunacy, it just keeps happening. And this afternoon, sweet old Karoline Leavitt and Vice President J.D. Vance, what did they do? Sure, they held a press conference to kick off day one of the government shutdown. Karoline started by spewing the same lies that all the MAGA pundits have been saying on air today. They can't help themselves. They are required to. Why? Because from their talking points memo, they need to say the exact same thing. Play the clip.
The answer is pure partisan politics being played by the Democrat Party. The Democrats shut down the government because President Trump and the Republicans will not force American taxpayers to pay for free health care for illegal aliens. America is $37 trillion in debt. We cannot afford to provide taxpayer-funded free health care to illegals who broke the law to enter our country. To put this all into perspective, the Democrats refused to keep the government open over health care to illegal aliens and now have jeopardized critical health care programs for American citizens instead. The Women, Infants, and Children program, community health center funding, Medicare treatment options, and other health programs are now all at risk because of the Democrats rejecting the clean CR. The most vulnerable in our country are being punished because the Democrats want to prioritize illegals over American citizens.
Just imagine for a second that the only show that you watch is Fox. Imagine how your brain is being warped into believing that anything Karoline Leavitt said has even an ounce of truth to it. And Vice President Vance, he said that Trump was willing to work with Schumer as well as Hakeem Jeffries to solve the healthcare crisis we inherited. Yep. You know from who? From Joe Biden. Play the clip.
Agreements. The Democrats want to do things. Look, when Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries were in here a couple of days ago, they made some suggestions that the president was more than happy to say, yes, let's sit down and talk about how we can solve the healthcare crisis that we inherited from the Biden administration. But it's one thing to say that we should solve the healthcare crisis for Americans. It's another thing to say that we're going to shut down the government unless we give the Democrats every single thing that they want, which, as Karoline says, includes giving billions of dollars of taxpayer funding for health care for illegal migrants. That's ridiculous. You don't.
Yeah. Again, they're all going to say the same thing. And again, this goes into what I was saying before. The danger, the absolute danger to those people who are myopic in the shows that they watch, that if as long as you watch Fox News, you become brainwashed. This is all the Democrats. This is Chuck Schumer. This is Hakeem Jeffries. This is the entire Democratic Party all wanting to fund migrant. None of this is true, by the way. None of it is true. But they will say it again and again and again until the lie becomes the truth. Now, Vance also said that he didn't understand how the AI videos that Trump posted of Hakeem Jeffries was racist. Of course, to me, sounds like something that a racist would say. Play the clip.
I think Pete's trying to re-implement high standards, and that's a very good thing. On the sombrero thing, I mean, Hakeem Jeffries said it was racist, and I know that he said that, and I honestly don't even know what that means. Like, is he a Mexican-American that is offended by having a sombrero meme? I mean, I saw one of the major TV stations put the meme up and then say, this is AI generated, and he had like the curly animated mustache too. It's like, do you really not realize the American people recognize that he did not actually come to the White House wearing a sombrero and a black curly animation mustache? Like, give the country a little bit of credit. We're all trying to do a very important job for the American people. The President of the United States likes to have a little bit of fun when he's doing it, and I think that's okay. I'll take one.
Right. So this is exactly the right time to be having fun when Americans are bleeding because of a government shutdown, because of our elected leaders' inability to work with one another. All right. That's right. Let's have some fun while all this is going on. Moron. Another reporter then asked about the post that Trump took down of an AI deepfake where he spoke about Medbeds. Play that clip.
Sean.
Hey, Karoline.
Hi.
2 things to ask you about.
Sure.
First thing, I want to ask about this video that the president posted the other day. It was an AI deepfake of himself talking about something called Medbeds. What was he trying to communicate to the public there, and why did he delete it?
I think the president saw the video and posted it, and then took it down. And he has the right to do that. It's his social media. He's incredibly transparent, as you all know. You hear from him directly on social media. He likes to share memes. He likes to share videos. He likes to repost things that he sees other people post on social media as well. And I think it's quite refreshing that we have a president who is so open and honest directly himself. Many a times on Truth, you are hearing directly from the President of the United States.
And second thing, how did the...
Can you imagine that answer? Could we break that stupidity down for a second? Well, let's see. He put up a post. He reposted something. He then took it down, and he has every right within he's the president of the United States. Are there not more important things going on right now than reposting AI deepfakes? You think? Especially about something like Medbeds, which is supposed to cure all cancer? Man. Meanwhile, a reporter then asked Vance about Trump's claim that he would be laying off Democrats during this shutdown. Play that clip.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President, and thank you for being here. Yesterday, President Trump said, as a result of the shutdown, we'll be laying off a lot of people that are going to be very affected, and the Democrats, they are going to be Democrats. Has the administration asked agencies to target federal workers who they believe to be Democrats in these reductions of forces?
We're not targeting federal agencies based on politics. We're targeting the people's government so that as much as possible of the essential services can continue to function. That is the question the president has asked the entire government, is fundamentally, okay, we're in a shutdown. That causes some problems. The troops aren't getting paid. There's nothing that we can do about that while the government is shut down. But there are essential services that we want to make sure as much as possible they still continue to function. That is the principle that's driving us forward during this shutdown. It's going to continue to be the principle that drives us forward. But let's be honest, if this thing drags on for another few days or God forbid another few weeks, we are going to have to lay people off. We're going to have to save money in some places so the essential services don't get turned off in other places. That is the reality of the government shutdown that Chuck Schumer and the Democrats have foisted upon the administration.
So what did he mean by they're going to be Democrats? He said they're going to be Democrats.
You've laid out a lot.
Yeah. And they are going to target Democrats. They're going to try to inflict as much pain. And this isn't going to be over quickly. Neither side. I remember hearing just a few hours ago a adage, one that I remember hearing when I was a kid, which is don't play chicken with someone who's willing to crash their car. Trump and this administration, they're willing to burn the country down in order to prove their point, in order to get Democrats to capitulate to a clean bill. Now, another then reporter asked if the layoffs would be reversed when the government ultimately reopens. Play that clip.
We know that some have been sitting out from the U.S. Patent Office. So I wonder, one, this administration continues to say that they don't want to lay people off, but obviously there is a plan to lay people off. So what is your message to those people who are getting laid off? And then if the government reopens, will those risks reverse? Are they not permanent? If the government reopens, specifically if it reopens pretty quickly?
Well, sometimes you have to do things you don't want to do, and it's because the Democrats have put us into this position. If the Democrats did not vote to shut down the government, we would not be standing up here talking about layoffs today. We'd be talking about all the other news stories going on in the world in our country. We'd be talking about all of the great things that this administration is doing to uplift Americans across the country. But unfortunately, the Vice President of the United States and I have to come out here today to talk about a government shutdown that the Democrats put us in this position.
4 times blaming it on the Democrats in a period of less than 60 seconds. Again, this is the problem. Now, Peter Doocy then asked Vance if the Trump administration is squeezing Chuck Schumer's home state, my home state of New York. Play that clip.
And we're not going to let them.
And the administration announced today that $18 billion bound for New York transportation projects is going to be frozen so it can't go to DEI programs there. But the timing of this, does announcing that today mean that you guys are going to squeeze Chuck Schumer's home state until he blinks?
Look, I haven't talked to Russ about this morning, but look, I'm sure that Russ is heartbroken about the fact that he's unable to give certain things to certain constituencies We want to do everything that we can to help the American people, but when the Democrats shut down the government, we have to actually do a little triage to make sure the most critical and most essential services are provided. The government does a lot of things. Of course, Republicans think that the federal government probably does too much, but there are a lot of critical things the federal government does that absolutely all of us would agree need to do. Our troops need to get paid. Our air traffic controllers need to make sure that people are flying safely and on time. We need low-income people to be able to access the food services that are provided by the federal government. There are critical things that need to be saved. We're going to do everything that we can over the coming weeks, if the shutdown lasts that long, to ensure that people get the essential services that they need, despite the fact that Chuck Schumer has shut down the federal government. It's not going to be perfect because we are in a government shutdown. We are going to have to lay some people off if the shutdown continues. We don't like that. We don't necessarily want to do it, but we're going to do what we have to keep the American people's essential services continuing to run.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Again, how many more times you're going to hear him blame Democrats for something that they own? They have the White House. They have the legislative branch. They have the House, right? They have the Senate. They control government. Meanwhile, Karoline Leavitt was asked how the White House found it appropriate for Jared Kushner to work on these lucrative projects in the Middle East in light of everything that's going on. Play that clip.
Second thing, how did the White House decide that it is appropriate for Jared Kushner to be working on matters that involve Qatar, the UAE, Saudi Arabia, 3 countries that combined have given him more than $2.5 billion for his investment firm?
I think it's frankly despicable that you're trying to suggest that it's inappropriate for Jared Kushner, who is widely respected around the world and has great trust in relationships with these critical partners in these countries, to strike a 20-point comprehensive detailed peace plan that no other administration would ever be able to achieve. And so Jared is donating his energy and his time to our government, to the President of the United States, to secure world peace. And that is a very noble thing. And this is a peace plan that has not just been accepted by Israel, but it has been applauded by Muslim and Arab countries around the world. It has been applauded by European.
Is she out of her frickin' mind? Seriously? You're talking about what? Something like another $10, $15 billion, $20 billion with the acquisition now of EA Sports? Seriously? Seriously? You don't think? Imagine Hunter Biden doing something even 1/50th of this. The up in arms, the anger that you would hear from Republicans. Shame on them, shame on them. Meanwhile, a reporter brought up on farmers saying that they're getting killed with these horrible trade deals, which they are. Play the clip.
About China, if I could. So China has not made one soybean purchase this year in the United States. I talked to a farmer yesterday who has about 1,000 acres in Iowa and says this is just killing her. Now, the president has been talking to President Xi. Could China not buying agriculture affect a possible meeting with the president? Would he not meet with Xi because China has refused to buy soybeans from the U.S.?
Look, I don't want to speak for the president and make a determination on that from this podium, but what I can tell you is that supporting America's farmers and doing what's best for them is at the top of the president's priority list, and it's at the top of the list for this administration right now. There have been several very high-level meetings on this very topic. We want to help our farmers, and we're exploring the best ways to do that, and I would anticipate there will be more to come on that very soon.
You know, what most people don't realize how bad this is. This has to do with Venezuela bailing them out, and then Venezuela now selling to China the soy that used to come from American farmers. Talk about a shitty deal. Now, meanwhile, lastly and finally, I want to show you a clip of a reporter asking Karoline about reports that Pope Leo is unhappy with how this administration are treating immigrants. Play that clip.
And second question is a comment that's gotten a lot of global attention. Senator Dick Durbin, he was set to receive a Lifetime Achievement Award from the Catholic Church. He since declined accepting it because there has been some controversy. Pope Leo commented on this, and he said that someone who says I'm against abortion, but I'm in agreement with the inhumane treatment of immigrants in the United States, I don't know if that's pro-life. You've been very open about your Catholic faith. How do you respond to that?
I would reject there is inhumane treatment of illegal immigrants in the United States under this administration. There was, however, significant inhumane treatment of illegal immigrants in the previous administration as they were being trafficked and raped and beaten, and in many cases killed over our United States southern border. You also look at the inhumane treatment at the hands of some of these illegal immigrants that took place under the previous administration as well.
Wow. Again, whatever it is that's going on wrong with this administration, it's all Joe Biden's fault. In 3 years from now, 4 years from now, when ultimately this administration comes to an end, it will still, based upon Karoline, assuming she's still there, it's still going to be Joe Biden and the Democrats' fault on everything. Imagine not being able to accept any responsibility for anything. But we should trust you with everything that you say, because whatever you say clearly must be factually correct. You know it's not. And that's why I'm asking you, help me to grow this community. Hit subscribe, watch, comment, share. And as always, thanks for listening. Hey everyone, first of all, thanks for watching. I mean, we're going to be posting daily episodes with reactions and talking about politics. We'll be talking about everything, in fact. So please like and subscribe. Join us on this journey.